Have you ever found yourself so hungry you can't help but snag your girlfriend's phone and devour your favorite quick and easy snack, the iPhone 15? I haven't, but I do know a guy. Broncos linebacker Jonathon Cooper is currently putting together one of the best speed runs of good decision making I've seen in a while. This whole thing feels like watching somebody get a flat tire and then immediately decide to drive into a lake. Every update, the situation somehow gets worse. The whole situation started on June 4th when police responded to a domestic dispute at Cooper's residence. According to the police, an argument over cell phones escalated into physical confrontation involving Cooper and his girlfriend. Initially, both people were arrested on suspicion of criminal mischief. At that point, it looked like one of those situations where everyone involved managed to take the L simultaneously. But investors kept looking into it, and suddenly things went from messy to felony. Prosecutors dropped all charges against the woman and upgraded the charges against Cooper. He now faces a felony charge of second-degree assault by strangulation along with a misdemeanor charge of third-degree assault. So we're already talking about a situation that's significantly more serious than arguing over who's been snooping through whose phone. Now normally, when you're facing felony charges, the strategy is to keep your head down, stay out of trouble, and avoid doing anything that can possibly make the situation worse. Apparently, Cooper looked at that strategy, crumbled it up, and launched it directly into the sun. Just 1 week later, he was arrested again. Authorities say he violated a mandatory protection order by sending over 20 text messages, making phone calls, and even showing up to his girlfriend's apartment, which is kind of impressive in the worst way possible. A protection order is one of the few things in life that's written in a language so simple a goldfish can understand it. The instructions are basically, don't contact this person. That's the whole assignment. And somehow, we're sitting here talking about 20 plus text messages. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a full-time job of stupid decision making. As a result, the second arrest added misdemeanor charges for harassment and violation of a protection order. So in the span of 1 week, Cooper somehow managed to turn a terrible situation into an even worse situation. Meanwhile, the Broncos have excused him from mandatory minicamp, which is probably for the best because it would be pretty difficult to focus on pass rush drills when your offseason schedule includes court appearances. The team says they're staying in contact with authorities and the NFL, which means the football side of the story is far from over, because even if the legal process takes months, the NFL has to own its personal conduct policy. And if there's one thing the NFL loves almost as much as commercials, it's conducting investigations. So Cooper could still be looking at league discipline regardless of what ultimately happens in court. He's scheduled to appear in Douglas County Court later this week, and then the Broncos are basically stuck waiting for updates while one of their starting defenders continues to build the worst offseason highlight reel imaginable.